Back at it again, are we? Alright, let's go. Of course. It's probably because it's an iPod, and, well, for some reason you guys only like watching iPod videos, and, well, we'll get to Big Sur eventually, but, I even got the 9th version of Patch Sur. Well, I say 9th, there's like 13 other revisions of it, but, we'll get back to that. Okay, so this is the 2nd gen iPod Touch, the sequel to the 1st gen, where I could say that it is an upgrade over its original predecessor. So what did this thing bring to the table? When it was launched back in 2008, it had a new, thin, sleeker design, but for some reason it still gets obliterated by a microfiber cloth. Because of its new design, the 2nd gen iPod is slightly lighter, about 0.15 ounces than the original model, but it's 0.02 of an inch thicker than the original as well. And wouldn't you know it, it has volume controls, meaning that it has a speaker inside. It sounds worse than a walkie-talkie found in a dumpster fire paired with the crisp packet you found in the bottom of your bag. It's very considerate of them, but I would rather have someone scream inside my ear than having to listen a single song with the speakers on. Speaking of which, here's what the speakers sound like. Yeah, I couldn't record anymore, otherwise I'd get sent to prison. But come on, features, what are they? You can shake to shuffle and have the Nike Run app. Where have I seen that before? Unfortunately, the battery can't even hold a charge anymore. Originally holding about 36 hours of music playback and up to 6 hours of video playback. Well, you're not even going to get any more than 6 minutes or even 6 seconds at most. Originally shipped with iOS 2.1, then its latest 4.2.1. It had an extra year of support compared to its predecessor, which ran on 3.1.3. This is because of its new processor. The new processor runs about 533 MHz, while its predecessor only ran on 400. It had the same amount of RAM, 128 MB, but other than those two differences, internally that's how it's able to run on iOS 4.2. This thing does have Bluetooth, so it's able to connect to AirPods, but for some reason it doesn't want to connect here. There's usually an issue when connecting because of its older Bluetooth module, which was Bluetooth 2.1. Just like its original predecessor, it has no camera, no back, no front-facing camera, so there'll be no way of you sending those narcissistic selfies on Snapchat. But like its predecessor, you have to choose between the 3 options of storage size: 8GB, 16GB, or 32GB. And as you know it's either really poor, birthday present, or I'm in debt. I mean, it's slightly cheaper than its predecessor. They were unforgiving when it comes to storage sizes. But because of Apple tax, this is kind of expected anyways. App support is no longer supported on this iPod as expected. Obviously with iOS 4.2.1 in 2021, there is not many apps that's going to be compatible unless you download it from the updates section, which I wouldn't really bother since most of them wouldn't really allow you to do that, asking you to be at least on iOS 7 or iOS 9 or later. Around the same time, the iPhone 3G was released to market. Putting it side by side with the iPod Touch 2nd gen, you can see the similarities shared between the both, and with the colours being inverted, like the volume buttons and the power button, the exclusion of a back camera, and a plastic shell. If your IQ level is at least above room temperature, you would have skipped this iPod to opt for something cheaper like a MP3 player that costed 1/10 of a price of this, or you could even go for the iPhone 3G. Yes, I'm not lying, the iPhone 3G, obviously better in performance, but also beating it in price. By the way, the iPhone 3G came out first in June of 2008, while the iPod Touch 2nd generation came out in September. That is 4 months. Obviously the price gap is not that much, but still, $30 is something, that could be spent on a gift card or something, or 2 large pizzas from Domino's. I don't know how you spend your $30. $30 is money, and that's money to be saved, if you have a brain, of course. So the question is, should you get an iPod Touch 2nd generation? Well, back in 2008, I would say no, because you could have opted for the 3G, cheaper, slight performance boost, it had a SIM card, and a camera. But I guess that'd be a little bit weird seeing children with iPhones. Oh wait. Well, since it's like 2021 right now, I'd say, yeah, go for it if you're like a collector or something. To actually use it as an MP3, it's not possible. There's no point to it. unless you can snag it for really cheap. Like me, I got it for $20 for the 8GB variant, so it ain't too bad. But if you're really looking for an MP3 player or an MP4 player, you could just go for any other line of iPod, like the iPod Classic for example. You can get a 5.5 gen for $50. You can flash them, upgrade the battery, and install custom firmware on them. But speaking of custom firmware, that's where these old iOS devices shine. I'll be coming back to this device, talking about how to install Cydia, and dive a little history about it as well. Thank you very much for tuning in, and hopefully I could see you guys next time. That's if there is a next time. Anyways, ciao for now. Oh, and one more thing, it's this channel's 7th birthday next week, and I won't be posting anything that's music related to this channel anymore. Instead, I've teamed up with a few others to create a new music channel solely dedicated to music related topics, videos, and we may even do podcasts at one point. It won't be just me posting there though. There will be others posting there, so there will always be content on that channel. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I'm signing out.